What's up? Welcome into your daily Buckeye Blitz for Tuesday, but it's not just any Tuesday. It is my birthday. No joke. It's always weird telling people it's your birthday, isn't it? Especially at my age. So I had to do it right there. It was wildly uncomfortable. I wouldn't recommend it. Anyways, hey, if you want to do something nice for me, hit like on this video, leave a comment, like a happy birthday message would be nice. Um, Things like that, the usual stuff. Nothing crazy. You don't have to send me flowers, please. Not again this year. Anyways, please visit the buckeyecast.com. Check out all of the gear. Check out the video vault. A lot of awesome videos in there. Get your recruiting fix. Check out all the huddle highlights. No ads, ad free. Think of it as an Ohio State focused YouTube with no commercials, no ads. That's how I would describe it. So check it out, thebuckeyecast.com. So today I've got we're going to kind of continue talking about the spring game. I'm going to recycle. I haven't really given you all of my thoughts after rewatching it a couple times and then thinking about some of the important positions that we're kind of focused on. So, and then a couple maybe you aren't focused on, a couple things I noticed I was looking at anyways. Number one, QB1. Who's QB1, right? I mean, that's what everybody's talking about. That's what we're looking for. It's what we need. It's what we want. We need a QB1 ASAFP. Use your imagination. So Ryan Day and Chip Kelly, they designed spring practice to determine Ohio State's starting quarterback this fall. But they also want to make sure that Will Howard and Devin Brown will still be here in August when fall camp starts up, right? You got to remember, this first game of the season is August 31st. So count back about 4 to 5 weeks from there, camp could theoretically open up at the end of July. It's very possible. But anyways, when we get that info, we'll pass it along. So Devin Brown, Will Howard, each handled 2 drives in the spring game. Will Howard's 2 possessions came mostly with the first teamers, the first string. Then Devin Brown got 1 with the starters and 1 with a mix of younger players and walk-ons. So not exactly apples to apples. Again, like I talked about yesterday, I'm leaning, without them saying it, I'm leaning towards Will Howard. Looks like he's going to be the starting quarterback. That's just how I'm reading, what they're saying and doing as the coaches. So anyways, Will Howard had 13 pass attempts. Devin Brown attempted 7. He threw the game's only touchdown pass, so credit there. And neither one of them played in the second half, of course. It was the Aaron Nolan show there. But Devin Brown showed good touch on that touchdown to the blonde-headed kid, the walk-on, Brennan Schramm. Okay. Anyway, then Will Howard's ability to move away from pressure in the pocket stood out, and he's able to complete passes downfield, buying a little bit of extra time. I thought Brown still showed the happy feet, kind of jittery, patting his feet in the pocket, and then would leave the pocket a little too quickly sometimes, just a couple times. But Howard could have been better on a couple of those end zone passes in the corners. And then, it's a spring game, so you don't want to get your QB lit up, but they really didn't try to show Will Howard's ability in the run game. So not really a lot of zone read with Will Howard and things like that. So things you can't really illustrate when guys aren't being tackled. So Howard he was 9 of 13 for 77 yards. Devin Brown, 5 of 7 for 66 yards. The touchdown. He also had 3 carries for 24 yards. He had a nice one right up the middle of the field where the seas parted. and he engineered the most impressive touchdown drive of the afternoon. He went 3 for 3 on that drive for 50 yards and a 10-yard run mixed in there, and then a TD pass to the blonde-headed walk-on Brennan Schramm. But neither quarterback showed they were Ohio State starter yet. It was not clear-cut this fall, so it's not a big deal as long as they're both still on campus in August, right? If one of them leaves, that's a big problem. It makes the decision easier on who the starter is, but then you got no freaking backup. So keep in mind, these guys were going against a really good defense. Like, this might be one of the best defenses, or the best defense in the country. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about the quarterback play in each position, really. So next up, cornerbacks. We started with the QBs, now corners, the guys they were going against. Corners had 4 picks. Corners and safeties. We'll mix them in here together. Let's go DBs. We'll call them that. 4 picks, 6 PBUs. IGB matched up well with Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith, the man-child, on a couple of throws into the end zone. Excellent technique. They weren't really throwing flags. IGB can be a little handsy. We're all well aware of that. But BIA is looking like the strength of this defense right now, man. I know the D-line's really freaking good too, but wow, I was impressed with the corner play and the safeties. The secondary depth really showed up. Interceptions by freshman safety Jalen McClain, Inky Jones, the walk-on, second-year corner Calvin Simpson-Hunt, CSH, and then walk-on Deontay Griffin, grandson of Archie. And then you got true freshman Aaron Scott. He had a couple pass breakups. Jermaine Matthews took a few series in the slot, looked very comfortable there. I feel confident in him playing that position. So he had a nice tackle for loss on a pass into the flat. He also showed good play recognition. So we know Matthews can play the outside corner. Well, now he's showing the versatility that's going to get him on the field even more, playing both positions, the slot and the outside. So you had Ransom, Hartford, Jahad Carter, Lorenzo Styles, and Bryce West were all out for the spring game. So that's why these young guys got a lot more playing time. But next up, let's talk right guard. Carson Hinsman, Luke Montgomery, and Tegra Shabola all got snaps at right guard. So we basically got a 3-man battle for that position. Carson Hinsman opened up the game as the starting right guard. But on the other 2 drives with the first team O-line, Tegra was at right guard, and he played pretty well. So we're not sure how the depth chart at right guard is looking right now in the coach's eyes. But with Tegra and Hinsman, they were the only 2 players to get the first team reps at right guard. Earlier in spring, Ryan Day said that the staff still viewed Tegra as a tackle. He was recruited as a tackle, and he wasn't perfect at guard, but he still looks more natural there. Ryan Day, Justin Fry, they still will have to dig into the portal for some potential offensive line help. There's also no guarantee that an upgrade or depth pieces will be available. So you're just kind of hoping, really. And Ryan Day gave Josh Fryer a strong endorsement on Saturday. Said Fryer was among the 4 offensive linemen they feel good about starting in the fall. So sounds good. The other 3 presumably will be Josh Simmons, Donovan Jackson, and Seth McLaughlin at center. But Day has left open the possibility of Fryer playing guard. I don't see that happening, honestly. He's repped there in the spring, but didn't on Saturday. Fryer had a few rough snaps on Saturday also, going against Jack Sawyer, but who doesn't? And Luke Montgomery played quite a bit, but mostly with the 2s and 3s and other younger players. So if they look for an addition, it could come either a guard or tackle out of the portal. So we'll see what happens there. Next up, let's talk about the Chip Kelly run game. Kind of feeds right into the O-line discussion. They didn't show all of the new rushing attack on Saturday with Chip, but there were a few wrinkles. The T formation to start the game was an ode to Coach Hayes, but it's something that we could see occasionally this year. He did it. He said he did it over 20 times last year at UCLA. So he used it mostly in short yardage and in a lower red zone. But Chip Kelly looks like he'll increase the frequency of same side runs from the shotgun. So when you're in shotgun, whoever the quarterback is, and you've got a running back to your right or to your left, you're talking about running the ball more frequently to that side, wherever the running back lines up. Most of the time, teams run opposite the running back's alignment when the back is offset. So Kelly ran plays to the same side as the back at UCLA as a way of keeping defenses from cheating. So if they would assume that if the running back's on the right side of the quarterback, that the running play is coming to the left. But now he's starting to flip that and go to the running back side, going right. So it's pretty clear. We're also going to see the quarterbacks run more. Ryan Day has buried that and told us multiple times that's going to happen. So last thought I had here was running back 3. Who is the third man in at running back behind Trey and Quinshawn? So you got the starters. I don't know who's the official starter. Probably Trey. We'll call him 1A. Quinshawn Judkins is 1B. They both look sharp in limited action, but we all know what to expect from them. They've had like 500 carries each. So you will need more than 2 tailbacks, though, in a 16-game season. And losing Dallin Hayden to the portal this week opens up a spot for a third RB. It was assumed that he was going to be your third guy in with the number of touches he's had over the years, and no more red shirt to burn. Still don't understand that. But anyway, so you got true freshman James Peoples. He impressed me. He had 13 touches for 59 yards, including a 13-yard touchdown on Saturday. And he's always falling forward and shows versatility. He had 3 receptions for 23 yards, too. So you love to see that. TC Caffey, can we get this guy a freaking scholarship one time? I don't know what's going on there, but he also had 7 touches for 42 yards. He's not as shifty, as quick-footed as Peoples side to side, but Kelly and Ryan Day have hinted that TC Caffey could have a role on this team. So maybe he could be your 4th or your 5th option. Then you got true freshman Sam Williams-Dixon, SWD, I like to call him. He had the best numbers of the day at the spring game, 11 carries, 75 yards, and a 22-yard touchdown right up the gut in that third quarter. So, and had to use his strength to kind of finish off that run and get in the end zone. But so Day's going to have to look into the portal for running backs too, him and Coach Locke. You got the former UMass and Rutgers running back, K'Ron Lynch-Adams from Warren, Ohio. He's got 1 year of eligibility. He's been crystal balled to Ohio State, but from what we're hearing, there's not much going on in that relationship. It's not much of a discussion since Tony Alford left, really. So we'll see what happens there. But those are my thoughts on the spring game. Who's our QB1? Obviously, that's going to go into the fall. The secondary, the DBs, right guard, and then Chip Kelly's run schemes, and RB3, who's going to take that spot. So please visit thebuckeyecast.com. Check out the video vault, pick up some gear, all the good stuff, and we'll talk to you later. Go Bucks.